Hello NCC TV viewers, and welcome back to another segment of Newcastle County's Fix Up of the Week. I'm back here in Newcastle in the Route 9 corridor to show you one of the houses that we purchased. And this is a prime example of you don't know what you're getting into until you start the demolition. I'm going to bring back John Prokopchik, Newcastle County's construction administrator and supervisor. John, come on back.
Thanks, Norm. We're here with Phil Raffin. He is the general contractor on this particular job, and we're going to talk about a few things going on here. On the outside here, one of the interesting things was when we purchased the house, there was a brick facade covering the entire house, and it actually looked pretty good. But when we got into writing the spec up for the house, we realized that the brick wall wasn't attached very well, and we realized we had to take all of the brick down. And this is what we found. Actually, not the sheathing. The sheathing just went on. And Phil, tell us a little bit about what we're going to do here.
Well, what we're going to do, because of the way that the old house was, the stucco that was on the old house is no longer in any good condition. So what we're doing is putting the laths on the wall, which is the little 1x3s that you see running up vertical. And after that, we're going to go put sheathing all around the outside on top of those laths. And that really is just to make it more solid, that when the vinyl siding goes on, it's got something to attach to.
All right, so the OSB goes over the furring strips, and then we put a
Tyvek, a weather barrier,
and then over that we're going to do vinyl siding across the entire exterior.
Correct.
And also we are doing, of course, the soffits and the fascias, and all new columns over here on the porch.
Right.
And as we always do, all new windows. We're going to do a new roof, and in addition to sidewalks, driveways, the entire exterior treatment.
Correct.
We're now inside that house. This is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. We got into it and we had to strip it down completely like we do all our NCC houses. I'm going to bring back John. He can tell you what exactly is going on construction-wise. John.
All right, thanks again, Norm, and I'm here with Phil Raffin, the general contractor. One of the real interesting things about this particular house is when we came into it, if you can see along the walls, it is a masonry wall, block wall, all the way up to the roof. What was on the walls was furring strips with the plasterboard right over it. No insulation. So what did we decide we were going to do here, Phil?
Well, when we get into a house like this with Newcastle County, the most important thing in a house for cost saving and effectiveness is always the insulation. So the only way to get that full R value in the insulation was to pack out the block walls with regular 2x4 studs that could allow an R15 insulation. And that really is going to be the #1 cost saver to a homeowner.
Exactly, and it also makes it easier to do the rough-in for all of the wiring and the plumbing as well that we also have to do.
Right.
One of the other interesting things about this particular house is that it was broken up. There were 3 rooms actually where I'm standing. I'm in the middle room.
Yep.
And one of the things we did was we took some walls out and opened up the design to make it a little bit simply more open. Tell us a little bit about what we did overhead here with these beams.
So if you look right ahead, above our head right now, there was a block wall going in between the 2 rooms that kind of eliminated that space. So what we did was we put a triple joist up that took the load of the roof, of the old roof, and actually allows us to knock that wall down and really open up and give it more of an open floor plan to allow our kitchen to be in the back now.
So this was actually the exterior of the home was here. The black wall, we took it out and replaced it with that beam.
Yep.
I see. All right, now, back here, where we see this pipe in the concrete, tell us a little bit about why that's happening.
Well, again, because this was the back of the house, we really didn't have any plumbing, heating, electric, or anything in that back room. So what we have to do is now break up this concrete to get our plumbing lines all the way to the back to allow for the kitchen sink to now drain, water and electric back there as well. So
I see. So we didn't have any drain or water there. Now we do.
Nothing back
and the kitchen's going to go along that back wall.
Yeah.
I see. And one other interesting thing you might want to point out is down on the ground, back along this back wall here, we have those blocks in there. Tell us why we did that.
Yeah, so at one stage this addition was obviously built, and what happened is when they built it, they put the pressure-treated wood right to the ground level. So on the outside, the water and everything was penetrating up against the house. It was soaking into the wood, and it was actually rotting out the bottom of our framing.
I see.
So what we had to do to eliminate that is actually put that block. We went up 8 inches high, which is Newcastle County Code, go up 8 inches high above grade, and then we ran new sill plates and new framing and everything on top of that block.
Terrific. Now we have no chance for water from outside to get in here.
No chance for water, no chance for termites, and the homeowner is a hassle-free house.
All right, well, let's follow the plumbing. Comes from the kitchen, and it goes into this room here, and as we can see, we have a whole cluster of piping here.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that, Phil, if you would.
This is our main drain that was coming into the house originally, and so what we've done now is tie back into that main drain. It used to be cast iron. The cast iron was rotted and deteriorating, so we basically cut that out and reran everything in PVC. PVC is a non-rot, non-rust
Exactly, yeah, that's what
material.
they use these days, right?
It's the best material you can use. So, we've replaced everything in this house new with PVC.
And of course the water lines, which the green, or the blue and the red, that's all the water lines.
Correct.
We ran all new water lines in this house as well.
Yeah, we ran all that to a manifold system, so everything's now on one manifold system.
All right, so this is a half bath where we're looking at now, and over there is a full bath.
Yep.
And of course over here, if we can get over here, we have a closet here where we're going to put a washer dryer.
Yep.
And we have the water manifold, and it's my understanding we're going to put the hot water heater in here.
Yeah, in these houses, because of the space is so limited when you come into these rehabs that the idea is to put a tankless hot water system in. And that the point of that is, one, it's much more effective, efficiency-wise,
Right.
that when the homeowner's not here, the hot water heater is not running. So it's only on when the homeowner's here. And space-wise, it means we can hang it on a wall now instead of the big 80-gallon tanks that we used to have that took up a whole space. Now they can go on a wall, and it really allows for a better layout floor plan.
Back here where we have this half bath is where the mechanical room used to be.
Used to be,
We
right.
had a furnace there and a water heater.
Right.
And now we put the on-demand water heater on the wall. We put the HVAC in the
You see
roof.
it right above us. Right.
So a lot of things happening here, folks. We'll follow this one as we move along.
We're here in front of a house that we just bought. We haven't done anything to it. We just want to show you what it takes to really redo these houses. John, want to talk a little bit about what we're going to do with the outside?
Sure, Norm, thanks. Although we haven't started with the spec, I can tell you just by looking at it right now, we're going to do all driveways. The concrete's all cracked and damaged. Looking at the front here, obviously we're going to re-site it, new windows. The roof does look relatively new, but our experience tells us that generally we should replace it because we don't know how it was installed. As far as this front section, just looking at it, we might be able to keep it enclosed, but one of the things I often have to do is verify whether it was built to code. To support a roof, it has a footer, and we'll check all that out. Okay, we're standing out back now, and pretty much we have a stucco finish. It is likely that we'll side this, although we will look into other possibilities. The siding, the windows, of course, a new back door, and we have a shed back here, which more than likely, we'll check it out. It looks bad shape. We'll probably have it taken out of here. We're going to have to trim some of these trees, take some of these shrubs out, and looks to me like we'll do a new fence. Stepping around here on the other side in the back, I do see an oil tank, and it doesn't look to be in great shape, but nonetheless, we will most definitely remove the oil heat and this air conditioning unit, and we will install a new unit inside, probably a heat pump system and AC. Take the chimney down, replace all the gutters, probably a new electrical service. We got quite a job ahead of us here.
Thanks, John. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on in this house. If you've missed any of the segments of Fix Up of the Week, you can go to our webpage, nccde.org/NSP. They're all there. This is Norm Spector with Newcastle County's Fix Up of the Week.